Hello, dear friends. My name is Sofya Dorinskaya. I am a doctor and the head of the Center for Medical Information. And at our center for many years, we have been running programs to eliminate nutrient deficiencies. Today, I am responding in a video on the channel of Laura Abdulgalieva, if I read that correctly. If not, I apologize. So, she thanked me for the video. Thank you, Laura. And she asks, how should one live with hyperthyroidism? I've watched your videos, but I still don't understand what to do. Should I take iodine or not? For example, maybe you could later make a video on this topic. There's a ton of information about hypothyroidism. The reality of the situation is that hypothyroidism can often be the subsequent developmental stage after hyperthyroidism, occurring when the body is already completely physically exhausted, and the gland can no longer produce the essential and required concentrations of hormones needed for health. Hyperthyroidism is actually one of the potential clinical stages. It is one of the many physical manifestations of essential nutrient deficiencies that the thyroid gland specifically needs to function properly. The thyroid gland needs not only iodine. Furthermore, the problem is also that even if there are enough essential nutrients available to produce the thyroid hormone, this hormone also needs to be successfully integrated into your complex metabolic processes. And for that to happen effectively, a variety of very specific and vital nutrients are needed that help to properly incorporate this hormone into the body's systems. Therefore, yes, when you have hyperthyroidism, iodine is necessary. What is hyperthyroidism? This is already a dysfunction of the thyroid gland, and the body is pressing the accelerator, stepping on the gas. It says, fast up more, I need to produce more thyroid hormones. This could be a sign of iodine deficiency, it could be a sign of a deficiency in a group of vitamins, or it could indicate a lack of accompanying substances that are necessary for the incorporation and functioning of thyroid hormones in the body. Do you understand? Because the production of thyroid hormones is not the end of the story. There still needs to be a completion of the process, you see? So there are answers, but those answers are always applied to a specific person. Therefore, in order to give an answer to a specific person about what you need right now, you need to individually undergo a test for nutrient deficiencies, follow the recommendations, and proceed along this path of regularly addressing deficiencies with monitoring of the tests that we will tell you about, and so on and so forth. Do you understand? That is, a dysfunction of the endocrine gland definitely indicates a deficiency. It is an indicator. But exactly which specific nutritional deficiency, in what particular kind of complex combination, and whether there are any other secondary accompanying deficiencies that, well, sort of provoke the endocrine gland and provoke the body to produce significantly more hormone, this is where you need to sort things out specifically. So yes, with hyperthyroidism, iodine is needed, just as with hypothyroidism. And there simply can't be two opinions about this. Hyperthyroidism does not mean that the body has an excess of iodine. Hyperthyroidism means that the body lacks iodine and most likely also a fairly large number of nutrients that are involved in the process. You see, iodine also needs to be absorbed by the thyroid gland, and there's a specific mechanism for that. When hormones are released, they also need to be absorbed by the body, and there's a specific mechanism for that as well. And this entire chain must contain the necessary nutrients in sufficient quantities. And what exactly is lacking in a particular person, where the failure occurs, this is determined by our test for nutrient deficiencies, because it detects the manifestations of deficiencies. This is specifically what happens inside the cell. Did the hormone reach the cell or not? Did the iodine reach the thyroid cell, or did it just pass by and the thyroid ignored it? Do you understand? That is exactly why no standard blood test can ever show the actual underlying reality of what is happening inside your body. But most importantly, there is absolutely no individual, medical professional, or large-scale organization in the entire universe that conducts blood tests for nutrient deficiencies that can actually help someone successfully eliminate these troubling symptoms once and for all. But we can help you because we have finally found the most accurate and correct perspective on the entire problem, you see? It's precisely the correct interpretation of the problem, because all vitaminologists have written that blood vitamin levels are not informative, but unfortunately, they have not been able to fully understand how to clearly formulate, as a rule, how this should be done. And our test is in fact the formulation of that rule. Thank you very much for your attention. Don't forget that we have an evidence-based medicine group on all social networks, Odnoklasniki, VKontakte, and Facebook. It's called exactly that. Please subscribe and join these groups, because that's where I interact with people. And that's where I, for example, periodically post quotes from these books. I also post various things, interesting finds from the internet, and information that sometimes even appears on medical websites. I check them every day. If I find something interesting, I generally share it with people. So please subscribe to our groups. There's never any nonsense there. I don't like nonsense at all. If I have nothing to say, I don't say anything. That's it. Next, please subscribe to our channel. First of all, why should you do this? Because a lot of people write to me asking why they didn't see my video earlier. And the reason someone didn't see our video earlier is because no one sent it to them, no one shared it, no one said, hey, take a look. And as a result, the person developed a problem. But if they had watched the video, the problem could have been solved, so to speak, with minimal effort. So that's the first benefit you should take advantage of. Improve the health of your social circle. This is very important right now. So subscribe and share on your social networks in this way. That's the first point. Second, when we reach 500,000 subscribers, which is actually very easy to do since 30% of viewers watch the videos without subscribing, so if all those 30% just go ahead and subscribe, we will immediately launch a giveaway of 3 sets of these books. Please, for those who don't want to wait, these books can be purchased on the website Dorinskaya.com, and there we ship to any place in the world where mail is delivered. If the postal service accepts it, shipping is free, it's all included in the price. Any place in the world, no problem. You can buy any book or set you like. These are books that have been restored for publication. We found these texts and we restored them for publication. We did our best to restore the text and make sure everything was clean so that the text would be easy to read and so on and so forth. Because the condition of some of the books was really, well, very poor, right? For example, this particular book was almost completely decayed. So it was quite a serious restoration. So please, I hope I answered your question. Each case needs to be considered individually. So please come by and stay updated in our groups, on social media, and by subscribing to our channel. Thank you for your attention.